Hello everyone, in this short video I want to talk to you about my experience with the Cessna Caravan and the PC-12 and tell you all the reasons you should do what I did the first chance you get, because one of them is a trap. I'll do a couple of videos about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 because I'm an avid simmer. I don't have the time to play and get good at any, but I play them all, so it was just a matter of time I get to do some Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 content. Without further ado, let's go. I'll start with what I believe to be the bad plane, and at the end I'll talk a bit about the good one, and will also give you a mission example. I'll compile a list of things I can think of why I think the Cessna 208 Caravan in 2024 at least sucks. I know it's the next plane you will probably get after you are sick of flying around entitled pricks with your Cirrus Vision jet.
I'm expected in Bloomfield ASAP, so if you'd speed it up a bit, I'd appreciate it. I was informed at the boarding that I'd have network throughout the flight. Just wanted to let you know I really need it for some important calls, so please avoid cutting off the connection, much appreciated.
Which is great, by the way. I love that thing. Fast, stable, cheap, everything the Cessna 208B Caravan isn't. By the way, I love flying older planes. In this years I like more the World War II and Cold War era planes. Now let's start with the beginning though. I want to tell you why I think the two main reasons why Grand Caravan experience felt so bad for me. Asobo thought 5 to 7 hour missions will be fun. Well, this thing combined with everything else I'll tell you in this video is the main reason. And we'll come back to the duration of these missions towards the end. So number one, the duration of the missions. Number two, all the wobbling this thing does in the air, it's unreal. It does it on all axes, by the way, and it makes for an horrible experience, especially after you've flown the Cirrus Vision jet for days to grind all that money. Tied to this, perhaps there's too much wind and turbulence, I don't know. In North America at least, as I've flown in Australia yesterday and I had a blast. Almost no wind there. Number three, for me, must be the autopilot bugs. I can't for the life of me set up an approach. All it does, it makes me go over the runway straight, no matter what approach I choose. And even the tablet flight plans, when I send them to my avionics, the approach vanishes and I'm left with a pretty unusable flight plan. I mean, sure, I can reach the destination airport, but I don't have an approach. So because of that, I can't even use vertical navigation most of the time. I'm sure you can do it if you manually pick some waypoints, but I didn't try it. Now, number four, and this ties nicely with everything else, I can't use sim rate with this one, with Cessna. Sorry, I need to pay attention to that screen all the time with the finger on sim rate down button, so I can prevent a catastrophe at any time. I could use 2x pretty comfortably, but the missions last 3 hours. Anything above that is asking for trouble, and messing it up after you spend 2 or 3 hours already in a mission feels like crap. By the way, in this video I talk from the perspective of someone who doesn't skip anything. I'm not skipping the taxiing, the cruise, I don't skip anything, so I fly the entire mission. That's my point of view. Now the next thing, if you want to climb over 20,000 feet, you're crazy, my friend. At around 22,000 I had no power left in my engine. Sure, I might have squeezed a bit more in this example, but yeah, skill issue perhaps. I have no idea why I stayed at 22, because I already cancelled IFR, so I could descend by 10,000 or something. And by the way, there was like 7 knot winds below 10,000 feet during my descent, compared with this 100 knot wind on these heights. Now, the last thing I want to tell you is this. If you fly your plane manually and keep it somewhat level, even 4x sim rate feels decent. But yeah, zero fun and it's tedious. It needs to safely work with the autopilot. I couldn't keep the S reputation with this plane for the life of me, and if you can, more power to you. I mean, shit, you might be a good pilot. And the reputation bonus rewards are pretty huge, especially at S. With everything I described, it was hard to set the autopilot, it was hard to cruise, hard to climb and hard to land. With all those winds and short and narrow strips, good luck landing on the damn thing if you're not a pilot or at least a very good simmer. I'm neither of these. So the main takeaway of this is it's very hard to keep a good rating with this plane, especially if you fly it in the North Hemisphere during the winter, like I did. Everywhere on that side of the globe at this time, the weather seems to be shit. Now, back to the duration of the medium cargo missions. I hear even in real life they are shorter, meaning they will last somewhere between 2 to 3 hours, but it doesn't matter because it's a game after all and needs to be cool and fun, right? So I really hope asobo shortens these missions, because the only cool thing you do during flights is setting up the plane, taking off, set up the autopilot, approach and landing. The climb and the descent is whatever, but the cruise is dead time. If you're not doing pretty screenshots or capturing videos like I do, the cruise is whatever. So yeah, you can even go to sleep for a few hours, especially with the caravan. So in my humble opinion, and I know some of you don't agree with this, asobo should shorten these missions. I know we have other types of missions that are shorter, but we have zero incentive to do those because these ones pay better, you know. I cut the distances in half, to be honest, just to start with and see how it feels. And now the good plane. The Pilatus PC-12. That's 1 million credits more expensive than the Caravan, but my god. It has none of the problems that, in my opinion, plague that plane. Comparing these planes is like a difference between a modern tank and a medieval knight, in my opinion. Night and day. This is a more stable plane. It has way more power, or so it feels. More speed, with minimal wobbling, making it very easy and precise when you climb or land. The only downside of this plane compared with the Cessna must be the visibility and the lack of a way to reduce the speed of the propeller when you're taxiing, so you don't ride the brakes so hard while taxiing. Actually, there is a button that is doing exactly that, but it's not working. I mean, you can push it, but nothing happens. The only other bad thing that happened while I was flying this is this. Yeah, and this. But these are things that happen with any plane, so no issues. Anyway, you got the idea. The path I would recommend you take in the career is this. The Vision Jet, of course, with VIP missions. Then get the Caravan, struggle for a couple of missions, then sell the damn thing and buy a PC-12. I promise you will not feel scammed. Oh, and auto throttle is unusable in this plane, I forgot about it, because it goes over the red line all the time and it's annoying. And there was a cabin pressurization bug preventing you to be able to climb higher, but let's be honest, you can just cruise at 10 to 15,000 feet or something. There's no need to climb over 20k feet. Now let's take a look at this mission I was able to do with the PC-12 in half of hour. Yeah, half of hour for 1.2 million credits. It's easy to maintain S rating with this plane for that sweet bonus. So yeah, do that with the Caravan, I dare you. I don't think you can make it even if you spam skip the cruise like some clickbait videos on YouTube claim, but because I've never tried that, I'm about flying, not optimizing the income, you know. But still, I think you can do way better with this plane for only 1 million more. And yeah, that's like 4 or 5 missions in the Cyrus Vision Jet, which is great flying. Or take the Caravan, suffer for a couple of missions, sell it, then come back here and thank me. So yeah, it's not worth it for cargo missions at least. I'm yet to try medevac and other stuff. I'll release more Microsoft Flight Simulator career content, by the way, stay tuned for that. I'd like to do more videos about simulators, as this is one of the preferred genres of mine. I'll even review this game at some point this month, hopefully, because this is the main purpose of this channel after all, PC game reviews. At the moment I review games I like or games I want to like, as I'm not into farming hate over the internet. If I do a negative video about something, it's because I care. If you fancy any of that or found this entertaining or helpful, you know what to do. I reminded you just in case. Until next time, take care and see ya.
Yankee Sierra Bravo Echo Traffic Police Victor Hotel. Hotel Bravo Foxtrot is taxiing 40. Yankee Sierra Bravo Echo Traffic Police Victor Hotel. Hotel Bravo Foxtrot is taxiing 40.